Chat, I ended up at Galaxy's Edge. And they can legally play the music. There's an A-Wing. Now, let's stop for a second. You may be wondering how I got here. Well, here's how. I'll explain very quickly. So, I went to Los Angeles for a video game event, which I will tell you about soon. But for now, I can tell you that there's a chat member who was very kind and offered a Disney ticket. Not that I didn't still spend money, because boy did I spend money, but I was like, you know what? This is perfect timing. I'm going to take this flight to Los Angeles for this event, and then I'm going to finally do the Star Wars. Screw it. And I did, and I went, and this is my video about it. I filmed mostly Galaxy's Edge and a little bit of other stuff. But I can, at the end of the video, I'll tell you about the other rides I went on. I went some of the classics that I had never been on before. I've never been to a Disney, ever. I don't even like Disney that much, actually. So, so for me, it was cool to, I had a great time. And this is, now finally, there's balance in the Force again. Because I went to Universal and now Disney. I've completed the circle. So they have an A-Wing. They have an X-Wing that's blue. I think that's a Poe Dameron X-Wing from the sequels. So, okay, this is it. This is the Black Spire Outpost. And it is an original thing and not, in fact, a Star Wars planet or, you know, scenes from the movies or anything, which I think was kind of probably a mistake, personally, but hey, whatever. It's fine. I mean, listen, now, these days, they're pumping in the music from all the trilogies. Mainly the original. I heard tons of Empire Strikes Back music. Anyway, here's the Glup Shitto shop. There's a Salacious Crumb. There's the Glup Shittos. Tons of Glup Shittos everywhere. They have like little animatronics. They shoehorned Mandalorian into everything. I'll tell you more about that in a bit. There's the roast meat. They do a thing. There's a meat roast. And then this poor droid never gets a break and has to work every day, all day, doing this menial task. So then you see the Millennium Falcon. And I was looking for that scream. Remember the dude that was like, "The Millennium Falcon!" I was looking for that from the Episode 7 trailer, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, here it is. There's the Millennium Falcon, and you know, watching Star Wars and it being one of my favorite things, the original trilogy was one of my favorite things ever growing up. Seeing the Millennium Falcon recreated up close and like the scale of it, I cried. No, I didn't. It was just kind of cool, though. Tears of sadness that I was a 41-year-old man going to a fucking Star Wars park. No, I had fun. I mean, I got to see all the greebles that they put on the Falcon. And boy, there are a lot of greebles on that thing. So here's the ride. Really cool animatronic. That's Hondo. Got a screen behind him.
I can't believe you made it back.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stop this here for a second. So Hondo is from Clone Wars and Rebels. He's, you know, people know him a little bit. Amazing animatronic, and the pre-show, him explaining what to do, was very cool. But here's the thing: a lot of these queues just lock you in like disease hallways. But then, chat, I got to go on the Millennium Falcon. They recreated the Falcon, and people were doing Fortnite dances. There it is, the chess set. It's real. It's a real place that you spend about 5 minutes in.
Crates they're transporting. Thanks to Hondo's intel, we know they're on Tatooine.
Hey, that's not
Grogu and I
Pedro
will meet you
Pascal.
Okay, friends, you have your mission. Capture the bounties, and engineers, you steal their crates.
That was
Now
not
get a
Pedro
move on,
Pascal.
And know that I have complete faith in you. Boasting.
1 hour later.
For your safety, remain seated and supervise younglings.
It's the cockpit of the Falcon. Okay, hang on. Before we continue, so you go into the Falcon and it's you get to do a thing. You get to shoot TIE fighters and shit, or you're an engineer and you get crates with a tractor beam, or you fly left and right or up and down. So it's a 6-person experience. They get as many people in there as possible just to keep lines moving. And there's more than one cockpit, but it doesn't really matter. It's fine. It's a screen thing. It's just a screen ride. It's okay. It's cool to sit in the cockpit of the Falcon. If you want to know, I flew left and right. It's kind of just you look at the screen and you can't really fail, but you can do bad, you know. And for Star Wars this year, it was just every ride had some form of Mandalorian. He showed up so much. Also, now they have Vader at the park. They're not doing like a story thing anymore where they have to do sequels. Look, you might recognize that guy.
Luke Skywalker is here, and I will find him.
And that's Vader coming out of Kylo Ren's ship.
Maintain order. The spaceport crew will direct you.
They don't care anymore. Listen, they need the classic music, they need the classic characters, they need Luke, Han, Leia, Vader. It's important. Because they make more money this way. Here's the cantina. The little show's been a thing since the 2000s, even with Vader. Oh, okay. Because they recently announced that Luke and Han and Leia were in the park, finally. I was like, it took that long? Unfortunately, there's a dark side to the galaxy, and I'm not talking about Vader. It's Disney adults. I'm one to fucking talk, I guess. These guys were cool. They do a little show. They dance. Did you make a lightsaber? No. It was expensive. I already have a lightsaber. I'm cool like that. It is great, though. I love John Williams' soundtrack so much. So it is cool to walk around a park and hear it the whole time. You got this guy. They got those guys. This is just a store. That's all this is. It's just a shop. You just walk in and you just buy shit. I think this might be the lightsaber creation area, actually. I had a lot I wanted to do, so I didn't linger too long in one spot. All I bought was a fridge magnet. This was one of the best rides I've ever been on. This is Rise of the Resistance. There's Ball. You might recognize Ball. So you go in here, and then you it's really cool. You get put into a shuttle. Look at this. There's an Akbar, an Admiral Akbar. A Mon Calamari.
Yes. Check the hyperdrive also.
Transport takeoff in 20 seconds.
Keep your units together.
This is one of the coolest things I've seen in a park ride because, I mean, this shit's incredible. You go into this. That's a child. That's the Rizzler. Don't mind the Rizzler. You go in. You watch the show in the beginning there, and then the door opens up again, and the same door you entered through ends up like opening up to this. This is a bit of a spoiler for the ride. By the way, this isn't even the ride. This is the pre-show. And is it sequel themed? Yes, these are First Order. You know what? It's Star Wars enough that it doesn't really bother me too much, but the ride was so goddamn good that I was happy with it regardless. Star Tours is all original trilogy stuff, but this one was, they're still, I don't think they can repurpose this one. So this is going to probably stay sequel for as long as it's open. But it actually is insane. If you watch a video on how this ride works, it's incredible. And then there's like when you actually get on the ride, they're free moving. They're not on a track. It's like actually like little motorized vehicles that take you from place to place. And I was very, very thrilled.
Keep your units together.
Keep your units together, he said. They just have to stand there for 8 hours. That's their job. And just say like a couple things and usher people into a room. I got some pictures. They're not good pictures, but they built ATSTs. Look, ATATs rather. They're huge. I didn't get good pictures. I tried so hard, but I'm like, wait a minute, that's not Star Wars.
With more flights to more destinations, why not take your tours to Star Tours? Convenient daily departures.
So Star Tours is a little older. It's actually quite a bit older. Right? So here's the thing. It's older to the point where it was made, I think in the late 80s. Then they got rid of it and revamped it.
Binary motivator. Perhaps we should run a systems check. Why, anyone would want to race around the galaxies.
It's a pretty decent animatronic. Little more primitive, but it's good.
I'm certain you'll have a wonderful night. I get it. Really, quite lovely.
Listen, Anthony Daniels wasn't doing... Look, chat, look.
Run a bongo and take your entire family through the mysterious planet core.
The planet core.
Whatever your desire, you'll find it on Naboo. Non-stop flights depart daily, so don't delay. Visit Naboo today.
I kind of want to visit Naboo. All right, before we do this, the ride... so again, Rise of the Resistance, one of the best dark rides I've ever been on. Granted, I've just started going on them this year. Then Star Tours is a screen ride. You put on the 3D glasses. They shoehorned Mandalorian in there, of course, because of the movie, you know. But you get an intro. C-3PO's in there with you. It's like a bunch of people in one vehicle, and then it's a screen ride. But it feels, you know, there's motion simulation. So I got there's like I think 9 or so different planets, and it takes you through the battles of the Star Wars. So, for example, I got Hoth. I was in the Battle of Hoth. Then Mandalorian showed up with Glup Shido, and he was all, you know, baby noises, and he ate a frog with his tongue, whatever. And then it was the beginning of Episode 3 over Coruscant. So I was happy with that selection. It was pretty cool. It's just a big, expensive arcade game that you don't play, but I enjoyed it. Were the animatronics better than the ones at Epic Universe? No, I think the Frankenstein one in the Monsters Unleashed ride was better, but they were good. So then at night, this happens. They do like a political rally, but it's Star Wars, like feelings. I'll show you what I mean. So the projection mapping across the entire park blew me away. I'm assuming this is being projected from the fucking Millennium Falcon. But look, everyone holds their lightsabers up to the sky. It's Star Wars adults at the park. And then they do fireworks. So here's what I learned about these fireworks. They play Star Wars music, the fireworks do not go to the music. What I learned is these are fireworks happening at another part of the park, but people would just gather here and watch them, so they decided to put on a show. Meaning they lit up the mountain and played the music. Well, the music is really good. People are screaming. They love it. Just like they love The Mandalorian and Grogu. Okay, now you'll notice ducks. I want to mention a couple more things about the Star Wars thing. First of all, Grogu is in everything with The Mandalorian. They're inseparable. And I think it's at the point where they can't separate them. They just can't, because it's too much money. In Grogu merchandise, baby noises, Grogu stickers, Grogu being silly on the screen, make poo-poo noises. By the way, he's a 50-year-old man, Grogu, just to let you know. So, but they had Mandalorian there. There was even a Star Wars themed Space Mountain, which I also went on, which was amazing, by the way. Space Mountain was really cool. The Star Wars stuff, you could barely see it because you just had so much wind in your eyes, and also it was just like you'd see a screen for like 2 seconds, and oh, there's a Star Destroyer. But it's a cool ride, really fun ride. Again, I have no attachment to these IP aside from Star Wars because I didn't grow up with Disney. I didn't grow up going to any parks. I went to Six Flags, but going to parks as an adult, it's kind of fun. You know what? Being able to do whatever ride you want and just kind of, just enjoying life. It's kind of neat, actually. It is tiring. I was very tired. I'm glad I did my parks this year. I think I'm good on theme parks for quite a while. So, but I needed to do the comparison. The opportunity presented itself. Thank you, chat member, for giving me that ticket. I really appreciate it. They work at the park. Not this one, but. So, okay, then let me show you the rest of my Disney experience. I got a little bit more footage. This is, I don't know if I showed it, but it's at the castle. This is the water near the castle. Look at those little guys. This was my favorite part of going to Disney. And then look at this guy. I was eating, and then this guy shows up. It was so good. What a nice duck. And then I did Indiana Jones ride, which was also excellent. This has been around since the 90s, I think. And it is... There's dead bodies. Real dead bodies, by the way. Real skeletons. This is what I'm talking about with the projection shit. It's just really cool. Okay, that looks like a glitch, actually. This was on my phone, not the Osmo, because I just wanted to get a little bit of footage. Then it goes fast. By the way, Boulder. By the way, chat, when I was on this ride, I was like, boy, this is familiar. And do you know why? It's because someone made this as a map in Left 4 Dead 2, like 15 years ago, and I played that map a bunch. And it's also in Gmod. I could load it up right now and play through the map. Crazy. I'm not going to, I'm just saying I could. One day, maybe I will. Next Gmod thing, I'll show it. Can't afford animatronic indie. Put an actor up there to swing from that rope for 8 hours a day. Disney has the money for that. Trust me, they can afford that. They could get a guy to swing for 8 hours. These are just some dinosaurs. This is apparently like 50 or 60 years old, this particular thing. This is on the train. And then they added the projection later, I guess. So just some pictures. You know, listen, I just tried to enjoy the moment. So even though I have 15 minutes of footage here, I mostly didn't record my experience. I just hung out. Do you like California now? I mean, I couldn't say. I didn't spend enough time there. But all this is in Florida, too. Which is a way shorter flight. God knows. And it's a flight, hopefully people don't, like, destroy the toilet with their poop on. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, oh, duck. Got some droids. Yeah, just some cool stuff from around the park. There's the blue milk. I wasn't into it. Beans. Did you not go to the beach? I didn't have time. I really just did. It was such a short trip. It was like, I got there late. I ate. Next day was that's the best picture I took at the entire park, by the way. That's my favorite picture from the entire trip. So, are the sub badges default on purpose? I don't know what that means, chat member. I'm sorry. I'll have to look into that. So, yeah, I had the event I went to, the video game event, was like an 8 or more hour-long event. And, I didn't have time to do too much. So, there was that. And then there was also, then the next day, I reserved for the park. Now, I do have another extra sauce video from a couple days ago when I returned. I showed you a little bit of LA. I got to explore. I saw the Blade Runner, some scenes like the Bradbury Building. Accidentally found some stuff from They Live, because they filmed a lot of that in downtown LA. It was a fun trip. I'm not a fan of 5-hour flights, but, you know, it was worth it. This was cool, though. Disney was cool. As someone who vehemently disliked Disney princesses and Mickey Mouse for some reason, I don't know why. I liked Aladdin. I liked Lion King. But going to a theme park like this, and going on a ride like Space Mountain, for example, that's a completely different thing. That's just a good-ass roller coaster. Jungle Cruise was fun. It's another older one, and it's kind of simple, but it works. It's just like little animatronic wildlife and jokes and stuff. Monkey with a gun. I like that. Pirates was closed for renovations. Didn't get to go on Pirates. Haunted Mansion was excellent. That was, I had seen videos about the Haunted Mansion and how they achieved that effect. It's a really, really cool, a lot of the engineering in this park is so shockingly good and was done many, many, many years ago that I'm wondering why we're still driving dinosaur bones around. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's actually insane that we have this level of stuff that we can do, especially that new Rise of Resistance ride. Maybe a bad analogy, but the fucking Haunted Mansion ride was excellent. It was just cool, good music, really cool effects, really good, the projections and the way that, you know, they looked holographic. I know that's a simple glass reflection, but it just looks phenomenal in person. I will tell you, in Haunted Mansion, the blacklight is their best friend. But that was a great ride. I did Matterhorn, which is a roller coaster that goes up a mountain, and there's a Yeti. And that one was good. I've been on some pretty fast, fucked up roller coasters, so that one wasn't exactly fast and fucked up, but it was still a good ride. There weren't like a ton of thrill rides necessarily. What's the one with the possum swinging around on their tail? What's that one, chat? The fucking thing. It's like a minecart. What is that one? Thunder Mountain. Thunder Mountain was fun. I got a chance to, do a couple things like that, but compared to the Flash at Six Flags Great Adventure or like Velocicoaster and Universal, the stuff I went on was pretty chill. It was fast, it was good, but it wasn't like insane. But they were well themed. Like, it's just, here's an animatronic, here's some other stuff to look at. Here's a Yeti swiping at you. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is the best ride there. Can I ask you guys something? Is Mr. Bones' Wild Ride related to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? I'm just wondering. No? Maybe parody? Maybe reference? No one will know. Naming-wise. Well, I did go on Mr. Toad because there was a very short wait for it. Listen, I got all my recommendations. I was given a very good game plan on how to do this, and I'll tell you what, I got to do most of the stuff I needed to do. There was plenty of shit I didn't do, but it was still great. I didn't do very much of California Adventure, but I saw Spider-Man do a leap, and then his body went stiff. I think he died, but he was fine after the show. It's okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I would say I hate to compare the parks because they're very different things. Going to a park that was built in the 60s, or whenever it was the 60s, 50s, I'm not sure. Going to something with rides from like 70 years ago, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see all that stuff because it's just so, it's quaint and it's old, but it's fun. And, listen, I joke about Disney adults and everything, but there were plenty of kids there having fun. And there were people enjoying their day, and the weather was nice, and it's like, it's a nice way to escape life a little bit, just to get the fuck out of the house and go do something fun. I couldn't do this frequently. I'm glad I got to do Universal. I'm glad I got to do Disney. And again, even if I'm getting free tickets to get in, they're expensive for everything. If I had to compare parks, Universal had more stuff overall that I think I knew and that I liked. I'm going to say Universal was maybe more to my liking, but the Disney stuff was very good. Star Tours was cool. Rise of the Resistance was amazing. Matterhorn was a lot of fun. Haunted Mansion was just classic. Really good. Indiana Jones, phenomenal. Loved it. So yeah, great stuff. Very enjoyable day. Food better in Universal. Also, the Velocicoaster just is the best roller coaster maybe I've ever been on. So that counts for something. And I still think that the Monsters Unleashed at the new Epic Universe Park, the Frankenstein shit, is still maybe the best dark ride. It's up there. Rise of the Resistance and Frankenstein are like close. They're like right there. So yeah, good time. I had a really good time. It was great. And I got to see some Star Wars, which is nice because I grew up... I know Star Wars has become... Last thing I'll say is this. I know Star Wars has become this weird topic where it's like, what don't you talk about at the dinner table? And the answer is religion, politics, and Star Wars. It really has become this very spicy, strange thing. But ultimately, when I see this and the Millennium Falcon, I see the Battle of Hoth, I think about when I was 10 and I got those VHS tapes. And remember when LucasArts was making really good games? Dark Forces, Super Empire Strikes Back, Rogue Squadron, Jedi Knight. To an extent, Shadows of the Empire, but there's other games that were good too. I think about all these great games I grew up with. TIE Fighter. I think about that initial era before the prequels that I was really into Star Wars, which was 95 to 99. And going to a park like this reminded me of why I loved it growing up. Still great movies, specifically Empire. And it was fun to go and enjoy the day and listen to some good music and go on some rides. When the prequels came out, that's when things got really divided. Contrary to popular belief, it wasn't two weirdos from Milwaukee, or one weirdo in particular, that made everyone hate the prequels. They were divisive on day one. But now there's a kind of a fondness for them that even I have. And I'm like, those were good times too. Perhaps one day we will look back on the sequels in a similar fond... Nah, we won't. Anyway, alright, so listen, chat. Thanks for listening. That was my experience at Disney. I'm good on theme parks for a while, but I enjoyed it. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my travelogue.